What's up? Saturday night. Hope you did well today. Had a good day. It's a great time at practice. It's always fun to hear people's talents. I'm amazed at people's talents. People are just amazing. You know, definitely not my singing is not my cup of tea. I do recognize people's skill though when it comes to music, whether it's playing an instrument, singing in the choir. I'm just absolutely amazed at how talented people are, and I really, really respect their abilities to, and also those that decide to share their talent with other people, right? Sometimes people do have talents, and they're too embarrassed to share with others, and yet that's probably why they're given the talent. They're given the talent to share with other people, and we live in an era where you can have a whole multitude of just different talents, and you can have really, really unique ones, like throwing a baseball, many feet away in a strike zone, and you can get paid for that. That to me is amazing, that you can have this kind of special talent to be able to do something like that. So it's just really, really cool. I really, really respect kind of what can get done there. So that's definitely something that I would say to anyone that has specific strengths, is to really focus in on them from a practice perspective, from a talent perspective, from a devotion, from a confidence standpoint, to really devote all time and energy to those things that you are good at, and really eliminate all those things that you're bad at, right? So I'm not good at details, at detail-oriented paperwork or administrative, and I get rid of all of that. So that way all my time and talents focus on individuals, on people, and so that way I can help them get what they want to get in their lives, and deploy my super strength to me in what I know about myself: public speaking, one-on-one conversations, getting to know people, asking really good questions on where they want to go with their life, and then listening, deploying an amazing amount of skill in just understanding and trying to decipher what people are trying to truly say about themselves and where they want to go with their lives. That is really my strength, being kind of that hashtag social on social, and that's why my why is to leave a legacy by positively impacting people, because that's what I know truly about myself. I can bring out the best out of people's lives, and the beauty about that is I don't have to take my career in that passion, right? Like, I'm not a coach because I really can help people get the fullness out of themselves and start believing in themselves. That's not who I am. My goal is to be able to help people get where they want to go, whether it's just here quickly, 1 minute, or they've been in my life, for years and years. I want to be able to make sure that my impact in their life is always positive, and making sure that I can be an uplifter, a cheerleader, whether that's online or offline. That's really what I want to be able to do. And I think that once we decide that that's who we're going to be, we're going to focus purely on our strengths and our talents, then what happens is we devote so much more of our time on what we're really good at, and we stop worrying about those things that we're not good at, and our flaws and our imperfections. The struggle that so many times we're kind of trained, even at a very young age, to focus on those flaws. Other people focus on those flaws. You get a 90% in school. They'll almost always constantly look at the 10% you didn't know. When in reality, in life, we're making a lot of decisions based on just the majority of information that we have. 60 or 70% seems to be good enough to make decisions, right? Parenting is so much done kind of on the whim. You can read a lot of books, but the reality is those books aren't your kids. And so what becomes a struggle oftentimes from a very young age is that you're totally focused on the flaws that exist in your life. And so we have a tendency then to only focus on that, right? And then we end up making short-term decisions, or even life impacting decisions purely based on those deficiencies and those flaws because they become so glaring. So instead of looking in the mirror and saying, hey, you know what, 90% of me is pretty awesome, we focus and go, no, you know what, there's a little bit there, there's a little bit here, there's a blemish there, there's a scar here, and we start focusing in as we look at ourselves purely based on all those flaws, and then we wonder why oftentimes we struggle with confidence or we struggle with anxiety. And I'm not talking about people that really suffer from clinical depression or mental health issues. I'm just saying from an overall standpoint that we all find ourselves being a little bit controlled by the fears that exist out there. Or the worst really is that I see is people making decisions based on what they think people might be thinking about them, right? And so they're almost crippled in their decisions because they're like, oh no, what are my friends going to say about that? Like if I start my own business and I'm in a multi-level marketing company, what if people say bad things about it? Oh my gosh, we get so involved in ourselves in what we think people might be thinking, it really ruins our ability to make really good decisions based on who we are. And Josh, what's up, buddy? Just kind of going on this little bit of a tirade where I think we truly must focus in on what's really at the heart of who we are, right? So it's not a problem if you're a female, gymnast. You shouldn't let anybody tell you that you shouldn't do that. Now, granted, it doesn't mean that you might go to the Olympics. It doesn't mean that you might be the world's greatest. But it means that you might really, really enjoy it, right? Like I know a lot of people in their 30s and 40s still play softball, still play league volleyball because they love volleyball. Not because it's going to take them to the highest heights in the Olympics. It's because they enjoy it. And so the 45-year-old shouldn't feel bad. Oh, I found this article was fascinating. The guy, he was the oldest NCAA Division I person to ever suit up in a football game. And I want to say he was 50 years old. There's at South Carolina. And he actually played a few downs as a running back. It's because he wanted to play Division I football. And here he was enrolling back into school just to be able to play in a game. Now he practiced and he worked hard. I will be honest. The guy probably didn't give a crap about what any of those 18-year-old, any of those 19-year-old kids said about him going after his dream about playing Division I football. He didn't care at all. Because when you're 50 years old, oftentimes you just don't care what other people think. And you start making decisions based on who you are and what you know about yourself. And you fully focus really in on your strengths. So I think oftentimes the moment that people start doing that for themselves, they can find themselves almost freed up of the oppression of what other people might think. They're freed up to do what they truly know within their own soul, within their own heart, who they truly are. And that's who you want to share with the world, right? So many times people want to fit in. They work so hard to fit in. High school is full of people that want to fit in. But you're not meant to fit in. You're literally meant to stand out. That's just how life is. Everyone is designed totally unique, right? Never to be done again. Never to be duplicated in this time, in wherever era you might find, or whatever area of the world you might find yourself in. And that's the beauty. And that's who we're meant to be. And so I would encourage anybody, if you don't believe in yourself, if you struggle with self-confidence, if you struggle with being who you want to be, reach out to someone, grab a hold of somebody and say, help me find out me. And take the time. There's probably nothing more important than life than truly finding out who you are and then living every single decision based on that. And the fascinating thing about it is every single person is meant to be good. Now, there's people going through horrible things in their life that based on those horrible decisions will make poorer and bad decisions. That's not what we're talking about. Anybody that's got a cell phone and listen to this, there's really good odds that you want to be a good person. And if you're a good person, you want to be a great person. If you're a great person, you want to be a better person. If you're already a better person, you want to be the best version of yourself. And that, my friends, is exactly who we need to be. Literally the best versions of me, the best version of Josh, the best version of Angie, the best version of Kendall. Pimp soup, thanks, bro. It's actually a seersucker tan. Kendall, which is pretty cool. By the way, I'm gonna pin this guy because I just love Kendall. So you'll see Kendall's going through. I love that he's sharing this story with everybody as he's building out this second business of his. It's crazy, right? Because literally across the street, he's got this very successful, many employee business, and yet here he is starting something all fresh and new. He's not afraid. He's not concerned what other people are thinking. Oh no, Kendall, what if it doesn't work? Who cares if it doesn't work? What if it works? That's the beauty. Focus on the bad things. Who gives a crap? Oh no, I'm afraid. Don't be afraid. Just go all in. Go all in on yourself. I love going all in on me. I'll bet on myself every day of the week. And I hope you do too. Love you guys. Appreciate the attention. Love you, buddy. Hey, Kendall, we all do. We're all trying to get better, bro. Woo, 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 woo! Ride the train, baby.